Opinion. Why is the Supreme Court taking a go-slow approach in resolving petitions questioning the 2025 GAA? Is it afraid of jumping into the vortex of political whirlpools? In late December 2024, after a thorough review with the country's economic managers, President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. signed into law the 2025 General Appropriations Act, or Republic Act No. 12,116. This is amidst criticisms raised regarding the constitutional issues hounding the national budget. Members of the Congress and the executive have long been accused of conniving to manipulate the national budget. It started when the allegations surrounding the supposed blank items in the bicameral conference committee report were discovered, with some critics saying these are a great bucket of sleaze. While the 1987 Constitution vested the Congress with control over the power of the purse, which includes exclusive authority to appropriate public funds, it is worth noting that, like any other state power, this is subject to limitations and judicial review. Now, the Supreme Court is facing two separate petitions to declare unconstitutional the 2025 national budget and to check whether Congress abused its power. President Marcos, on his part, tagged these moves as part of alleged efforts to destabilize his administration. Although he is confident that the government has a strong case to counter the mounting petitions, the president warned that there was no plan B, and it could cause the total collapse of the bureaucracy if the Supreme Court strikes it down as unconstitutional. Despite the piling up of petitions in an order, the High Court decided to move the oral arguments to May 19, 2025, upon a motion of the Office of the Solicitor General, citing the upcoming May 12, 2025, midterm elections, which is one of the questions now confronting the Supreme Court. Why is the Supreme Court taking a go-slow approach in resolving the constitutional issues surrounding the 2025 national budget? The other question is, doesn't the Supreme Court see the need for immediate and judicious action on this matter so as to preserve the functioning Constitution? What both questions mean is that the Supreme Court is on the horns of a dilemma. The Constitution requires it to rule on the factual basis of the petitions, without causing any delay, but doing so places it on a possible collision course with the other two branches of government, the executive and the legislative. This is pointedly and painfully the problem, putting us in a nervous type over the possibility of a constitutional crisis. Some are saying it could also be that the Supreme Court is afraid of jumping into the vortex of political whirlpools. While it may be true that the judiciary has no absolute influence over either the sword or the purse, that the constitutional system of checks and balances is based on the sound principle that judicial orders have to be delivered efficiently so as to maintain the rule of law. In addition, the Constitution aims to preserve the court's independence, both from political pressure and from attempts to corrupt it. Now, with this political noise, the Supreme Court justices have to think out of the box in every step or action taken. It cannot surely afford that the tribunal's reputation will be the collateral damage of this political instability. But one thing is for sure: the issue regarding the national budget is more than politics. It is a lifeblood of the country's future. Thus, a final and amicable resolution of the 2025 GA Petitions is one of the most awaited developments in the country's legal landscape. #BATASPH